Shalom, shalom. I'm Sister Zakai, and I am back with part two of a word of encouragement. I started off early of sharing why most or many don't take advantage of the gift of release. And so I ended part one on talking about mindset. So if you want to go back and watch part one so that you can catch up to part two, this is where I'm going to pick up and move forward. And so the second part of reasoning as to why most or many don't take advantage of the gift of release is negative affirmations. So, these affirmations are negative words or concepts or thought process that they tell themselves or the negative affirmation of those around them. So, if the population of people around them all think negative or talk negative or have a negative mindset, then they're going to continue speaking those words and listen to those words. So when someone comes with positive affirmation as to speaking about the gift of release, it challenges their theory, it challenges their doctrine of holding on. They've been holding on to what needs to be released all of their life. And so a person that's coming with this positive affirmation is coming to one, destroy those negative affirmations. But if the person is comfortable in the conditionings and they are comfortable with their reasoning, they're going to reject the positive affirmations and maintain, hold tight to the negative affirmations. And negative affirmations, what they do is um it supports or feeds the concept of of why a person does not receive or take advantage of the gift of release, because they don't really know what it looks like or what it feels like to be outside of that reasoning or outside of that mindset or outside of those conditions. So instead of receiving these positive affirmations, they're going to continue to speak or listen to the negative affirmations. This increases doubt, and it increases fear. Like, it doesn't promote hope, it doesn't promote anything outside of what the person's reasoning is already. So if they're surrounded by doubt and fear, it's very hard for them to take advantage of the gift of release, because nothing in their orbit, nothing in their presence, nothing in their aura, nothing in their space of being, whatever term you want to use, supports the gift of release. Everything supports holding it in, holding on to it. And so I wrote down a connecting point that connects conditioning and reason together. Let me see if I can read. So, reasoning stops the person from doing the work that's required to step up and to take some form of accountability. So, their reasoning, once again, does not support accountability. Their reasoning supports pointing the finger, blaming, so on and so forth. And if you've watched some of the other videos leading up to this video, we talked about what people are holding on. They're holding on to trauma, they're holding on to drama, they're holding on to disappointment, they're holding on to scars and pains and anxiety and all the things that support and are the foundation of dysfunction. And so the gift of release promotes functionality, and functionality comes with accountability. And so most reasoning says don't do the work, or I don't have time to do the work, or I don't know how long the work is going to take, so I scratch all of that. I'm going to just hold on and do what it is that I'm already doing. And so that was pretty much the last point that I had for reasoning. As I mentioned in part one, there may be other reasons why Um, Most or many or most don't take advantage of the gift of accountability. But in this part one and part two, I have given one of the two top reasons. The reasons why most or many don't take advantage of the gift of release. And it is such a blessing. It is. It may not feel like it when you're going through the process, but after you've gone through the process and you go through the process again and you go through the process again, and I don't want to discourage you by saying go through the process now, go through it again, so on and so forth. But when we talk about, which I'm going to expound on a little bit more, capacity, is that once you have gone through the process, especially when it's your first time going through the process, it's like, I did it. But in order to continue to increase your capacity, every time something comes up to challenge you, once again, if it's more trauma, if it's disappointment, if it's unmet expectation, or if it's something that caused some type of anxiety or whatever it is that you're dealing with, the gift of release and the process that you go through, it increases your capacity. So I don't want you to think that I'm saying you got to go through the process this week and then next week you got to go through the process again, or the following week you got to go through the process again. No, what I'm saying is the process to the gift of release is there when we need it. It's available to us to help us navigate capacity. And like I said, I'm going to do a separate video on capacity, but I wanted to make that clear that there is a process that you go through when you release. It's not as simple as just discarding it. So most of us think like taking off our hat or kicking the shoe off or whatever example you want to use. But there's a process that you must follow through in order to fully reap the benefits of release. And so I hope that what I am sharing in these videos is helping someone, is encouraging you, is bringing forth insight and understanding. And it's also causing you to become knowledgeable about these things on your own. I don't know it all. I'm not the end all be all, but I am sharing what I've either learned in past times going through this process and what I'm currently learning as I'm navigating this process. And I can honestly say it is making me a better person. It is causing me to be more mature. It's causing me to be more functional. It's causing me to be more available. Whereas in times past, holding that stuff in and using methods of like drowning it out or busying myself, or all these other different mechanisms that we use to really hold on. We're supporting the hold on versus engaging in the release. And so I'm sharing these things to be of an encouragement to my sisters and brothers, and pray that you would do your own research, that you would engage in the process, and that you would even share once you have come on the other side, being able to share your experience, because it would encourage not only myself, but it would encourage others that you may share this process with. And so, once again, this is part two of why people, most or many, do not take advantage of the gift of release. Hope you have a good one. Shalom, shalom.